Good afternoon, Scott. It is Saturday, April the 19th, and let's talk about Squeedily Spooches. So Scott, the other day you asked me about the exact function, or functions, of a Squeedily Spooch, and I'm here today to explain that to you. The function of a Squeedily Spooch is so vast that I might have to edit this for time's sake. Let's talk about Squeedily Spooches. The first function of a Squeedily Spooch, I am to believe, is that, say your body is a roller coaster, and the roller coaster goes around, up and down and over on the cliffs. And then there's different sections, and like when you change the channel on your television, the television comes on and you're changing the channels. So say you put the sheep in the blender, and you have to you blenderize the sheep, okay? And then what happens after that? It's sort of like a car, on a highway, and it goes around, and then the merry-go-round stops, and everybody gets off, and that is how a Squeedily Spooch works. So Scott, you asked me yesterday who my favorite 20th century dictator is, and why. And I'm gonna go ahead and be stereotypical and say Hitler. Now the why, he went totally in the wrong direction with everything, took everything just way too far. But one thing I really admire about Hitler was that he never had the idea that he couldn't accomplish something. I admire Hitler for being a driven person. I gotta imagine if he had been accepted to art school, as he had wanted to do, maybe he could have been another, I don't know, Picasso or Van Gogh. But that's not all that I wanted to talk about today. There was something that I wanted to cover Thursday that I didn't get a chance to. And I kind of, I'd like to mention it. Mostly I just want to get you guys' opinion on this. I was watching Sexy Phil the other day, and he mentioned the net neutrality issue that's been going on for quite some time now. Half-assed some research on net neutrality. What he was talking about was that a lot of major corporations are campaigning for a tiered internet system, which means that companies or entities that want to pay more for their websites will have a higher priority, and therefore will their web pages will load faster and work better than other web pages. And those private web owners who don't pay as much or can't pay as much, their web pages will either load slower or not at all. This issue kind of affects all of you guys here on the internet, and I just wanted to know what your opinions were. In other news, the Chris Merritt show was freaking awesome. Chris Merritt rocks. I loved it. It was great. Scott, you will be surprised to know that I was not expecting you to ask me that question, because I was expecting to ask you that question. So Scott, what is your quest? And have fun. There's my dog. I will see you tomorrow.